Hi, everybody. So it's been a little while, and I wish that I had some really happy, uplifting news for you today. It's a little bit of a mixed bag today. So, my last video, I shared that I had a rising ctDNA test a few weeks after the mastectomy, which was pretty concerning because we thought we got everything out during the mastectomy, all the cancer out. However, I've had now 2 rising ctDNA tests since the mastectomy, which was in February, and I've had a couple reconstruction surgeries since then. I had a PET scan about 3 weeks ago, and that PET scan showed multiple nodules in my lungs, as well as enlarged mediastinal lymph nodes. So my doctor is extremely concerned and concerned that the cancer, although we thought we got it completely out of the breast during the surgery, that it may have spread to the lungs. If it has spread, it's considered stage 4, and at that point is considered, any treatments are, the intention is to prolong life and not to cure. At least in conventional medicine, that's what they consider the intention is for treatment, which was a pretty scary thing to hear from my doctor. She said that she wants to order a biopsy, so I have a biopsy scheduled for next Friday, for July 17th. And if the biopsy confirms that it has spread, then it's basically stage 4. She told me to start thinking about getting my affairs in order and doing all the things that I want to do. And although, and I said this specifically, I said, I'm not your typical cancer patient, and I don't necessarily subscribe to the prognosis, but what do you think my prognosis is? And she didn't volunteer that information, which I appreciate. I wanted to know what she thought about it, and she said, in my situation, people with stage 4 breast cancers, they would usually give 3 to 5 years, but given how aggressive the cancer has been, becoming resistant to chemotherapy in the 5th month, and then now potentially spreading, and the rate at which it grew, she basically said she expected me to be on the lower side of that. So maybe I'm thinking, 2-3 years. That was a lot to process for myself and for Michael. And for a couple days, I was really in a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety, like anxiety I've never felt in my life. I couldn't sleep very well. It's a surreal thing to be told that you're gonna die, basically. But I don't believe it. I don't subscribe to it. I've had time to think about it and to process it. I've been listening and reading a lot of content about people who have survived stage 4 cancers, and I'm going to put the resources below. A few of them are Radical Remission, it's a book, Radical Hope, and a podcast called Crispy Cancer. And in all those resources, they interview people who have survived terminal cancers. and they look at the commonalities, the factors that these people took into account, and the changes that they made in their lifestyles in order to come back from those stage 4 cancers. And that's what the Radical Remission book is about, and Radical Hope, the main factors that were helpful in getting people into cancer remission. I'll mention a few of them: diet, supplements, but also a lot of like emotional and mental factors, like addressing, suppressed emotions, increasing positive emotions, having a reason to live, taking control of their health and their situation, rather than just being told, take this medicine, do this, do that. They did a lot of their own research. They, were really proactive in their health. Those are, just a few of the factors. I think maybe having a spiritual connection, or I think that might have been one of them. But anyway, they're really, really good books, and they're giving me hope. And I've realized like what I need the most is to have hope, because once people lose hope, I think they kind of, give up and stop trying and stop looking for ways to improve their lives and stop looking for ways to improve their diet and stop looking for ways to heal. And if I don't have hope, and if I give up, like that's it, then the prognosis becomes real. But I don't believe it. I know it sounds like I'm in denial maybe, or delusional, but I just don't believe that it has to be terminal. And I'm doing everything that I can. I'm making a lot of changes, which I'll document and I'll share, because I think it's important to share the things that are helping. And I don't feel the same anxiety and fear that I did when my doctor first told me. I mean, for sure, sometimes I do get scared and I do get sad, and I just kind of let myself feel that. I cry, but I don't get stuck in it. And I think that's really important to, feel everything I'm feeling, but not get stuck in that. So I've been, I've just been doing things. I've been meditating more. I've been doing a lot of breath work. I did a tapping EFT, EFT session, and I'm going to do some more to help release like stuck emotions. I'm just kind of looking at my life and, what's out of alignment? What do I need to address? Eating a lot better. I miss sugar. I really miss sugar. But I went to Hawaii recently. I had a dance competition last weekend. We did really well. We placed first in all of the dance categories that we entered. And it was just nice to have a little vacation and just to be in Hawaii. I've always wanted to live there and move there, and I want to spend some more time there. So I'm thinking about spending some more time there this year, maybe for like even a month or so. And, I do recognize that this is very serious, and I am getting my affairs in order. I'm working on my will and on my trust. I'm decluttering. I'm getting rid of things that I just don't want or need. And I am going to make a bucket list and make sure that I'm doing the things that I want to do. Not because I think I'm going to die, not because I think I'm going to die, but because, why wait to do the things that I want to do? And to be fair to myself, I do feel like I have been living my life in a way that I am proud of, and that I do the things that I want to do and that are important to me. So I just need to keep doing that, and also, see if there are things that I have not done that I want to make sure that I do. And I think that's a good way to live in general, you know. I think a lot of us wait for so long to go on that vacation or to have that conversation, or, you know, we put things off because we think we have so much time. And, you know, maybe it's better to not necessarily live like we're going to die, but live knowing that our time is limited and we don't know when we're going to go. So we might as well just live the best we can now and do the things we want to do when we can do them, instead of just saving them for the future. I think that's it for now. If you're going through something similar, I just want to say, don't give up hope. Hope is like, I don't know, I feel like hope is what's going to keep me alive. So don't give up hope. Fill your brain, fill your energy, fill your time with things that are positive and that keep you encouraged and hopeful and motivated. I love watching dramas and like mysteries and thrillers and like, you know, I miss watching those things, but I've stopped watching them. I've been watching more comedies and more like uplifting movies and things that make me laugh and that make me feel light. So I'm really just trying to do things that like raise my energy, that make me feel good, whether it's food, exercise, the things that I watch, the people that I spend time with, the activities that I do, just trying to like release what's heavy and what is no longer like needed and serving me, and just fill myself up more with things that feel light and helpful and beautiful and hopeful. So anyway, thanks for your support. Thanks for tuning in. And I wish you a really beautiful day.